watcher, if there's any background noise, please forgive me. It's blowing up a gale outside. It's just stopped snowing and it's so windy, so there's a lot of background noise. I've just had to tie the gates together because they kept losing the lash and banging. So I'm just going to talk you through a tool haul that I got this week. I've got 3 tool hauls. I've done one already. This is tool haul number 2, and also I've got some mail from Tool Addict, I believe. So I'm going to open that and show you as well. Okay, now Ben sent me this a few weeks back now, but I've not had a chance to get around to opening it. I'm assuming it's from Ben. And he very naughtily, on one of his videos, when he said, what one's your favourite to everybody, I said, oh, that's my favourite. And because I'd sent him something, he very naughtily sent me something back. Oh, wow, look at that. Now, Ben, you'll have to tell me. Oh, that's heavy. That's heavy. SUP and 500. And look at that handle. That looks like the original handle, doesn't it? That's a beautiful handle. Normally it's got such a nice old patina on it. Normally when I get a handle I like to strip it back and give it a little bit of BLO, a bit of boiled linseed oil, but I like that handle so much I don't think I'll bother. Ben, you'll have to let me know. What is this? Is this a beryllium head? Is this a copper head? A non-sparking head? I don't know. I've never heard of it before. SUP 500. I'm assuming SUP stands for something. Well, thank you very much, Ben. That is very kind of you. Anyone who follows the channel knows that I like a nice little weight, and I bought this one recently and I did it up on a video. That was one I bought. Quite handy just for holding little small projects down as they're gluing up. But I saw these two as well, just a couple of bits of lead stuck together with a handle from a gate valve on top of it and painted, and I thought they were pretty cool. 2 of those for a £5. Probably over the top, but I thought they were pretty cool. And I bought a grease gun, really old fashioned vintage grease gun, which will be a nice restoration project. It says there Tecalmi, T-E-C-A-L-M-I, Tecalmit, M-I-T. What does that say? Made in London. Can't read. You could probably read that better than I can. But yeah, just an old grease gun. So I'm going to refurbish that up, put it up with grease, and that'll come back into life. I think that's a beautiful thing. How much nicer is that than the grease guns you get today? Hey, that is beautiful. And I don't know if anyone heard Scoutcrafter's video on New Year's Eve. He lights a candle on one side of the east coast, and his friend likes a lantern on the west coast. But unfortunately his friend passed away, so he carried on the tradition. And I thought to myself, oh, what a shame. So although it's only a battery operated one, I bought myself one. So on New Year's Eve I can, you know, arms out across the world, continue the tradition for Scoutcrafters, mate. So, and that was, I think that was a £5 as well, and the grease gun was only a £5. I picked this up locally. It is a wooden boxwood yardstick with millimetres and centimetres on the back and inches on the front. Now on there it's also got obviously your yard, 36 inches. But it says 1 metre is so many inches, 10 centimetres is so many inches, millimetres is so many inches, yard is how many millimetres. It's got all of your conversions at the top, so I thought that was pretty cool. Has got a slight little bit of damage where we've got a little bit missing on one of the edges, but apart from that, that's perfect. Now, I'm not getting old before my time, but someone was giving away 2 walking sticks. Don't tell me I'm old before my time. These are perfect bits of wood. They're really straight and they're ideal for handles, for things like carrying anything, tool totes, garden totes, any bits of wood that you need. Massively stable bits of wood, and I can't walk past anything like that. If I see something like that, I've got to pick it up and put it in my junk tray. Now I picked up this really old, very interesting tool tote. Don't worry, this is not going to be my entrance to the Scoutcrafter one. But I picked it up and it's got a few tools in it, and I just really liked it. And being as I'm doing a project, most of the viewers of the channel will know that I'm putting together some tool chests of all my old tools that are triplicates, etc. And I'm just going to give them away to some local kids. This will be ideal. This is perfect sort of thing to put some tools in. Let's go through this. First item, just a tub full of raw plugs, a tin, a jar, whatever you want to call it. A basic screwdriver. This will be perfect for a kid to start him off on his journey. Just a Phillips, or is that a posi? It's a posi drive. On there. Got some picture hooks and some eyelets. That'll go in my in my little filing system. An old style Marples screwdriver. Red handle, you know, any viewers of the channel know I'm a sucker for a bit of handyman red. Got a little bit of a bend. This one's designed for screwing around corners. It's covered in some sort of paint or vinyl, but we can stick that in the vice strap and that, give that a bit of a refurb. That handle will come up really nice and shiny. But Marple screwdriver. Got a large carpenter's square. That is 14 inches long, so that's a big one. That's a really nice design there. Assuming this is square, this should come up nicely. Can't see any maker's marks on there. Although it's covered in a lot of rust and patina, isn't it, eh? So assuming that's square, that one will stick in the with the collection. Got a square file here, rusty, in need of a refurb. Take the handle off and reset that. Nothing that the wire wheel can't sort out. Most of my files are square, or either flat, rectangular, or triangular, circular, or semicircular. I don't actually have any square ones, so that one will be nice to add to the collection. Man, it's got this in there. I don't actually know what this is. It says, look, does it say PK? Pike Easy Edge. Feels like a stone, like an Indian stone or some sort of sharpening stone or something. It's very small, very diddy. It's 2 inches by 5.5 inches, so that's really small. But it's got that feel of a stone. If anyone's ever heard of that, Pike Easy Edge, can you put it in a comment, please? Let me know whether that is a stone, whether it's an oil stone or a water stone. I'd be really interested to hear about that. Well, after doing a little bit of investigation, I found out that Pike was an American company started in 1823. Now, it was primarily an abrasives company that copied the Belgium honing stones. They continued trading until 1932, when they were taken over by the Norton Company. However, this is a copy of the Belgian stone, which is more than likely somewhere between 1850 to 1900. Which makes this quite an old honing stone. Back onto one of my favourites. Again, a bit of a bent one there, but this is a cabinet screwdriver, cabinet maker's screwdriver. The handle's a bit chewed up at the top, but we can sort that out. We can smooth that off, make it a little bit smaller, but we'll reprofile that. A bit of a tension on the end, but yeah, I do like my cabinet maker's screwdrivers. So, and I got a middle-sized one the other day. So I've got a small one and a middle-sized one, and then there's the daddy one. Look at the size of this bad boy. Let's measure it. Let's measure that. This is 18 inches long. It's huge. Perfect for getting in those small crevices. We need something to go a long way. It's not got a round handle. It's got a flattened handle on both sides. No idea of the maker's mark. Very rusty, very covered in paint, but that will come up nicely. So I've got small, medium and large in the old cabinet makers now. Got an old rusty funnel. Don't know about you. Could put it in the evaporator, see if I can bring it back. But that may have BIN written all over it. In pretty good nick. Got a saw blade. Almost like a scythe, isn't it? I'm sure that will go on one of my handles, like one of my Eclipse saw handles. You know, see if we can. If not, we can manufacture a handle to fit that. That's quite a good blade. Couple of little paintbrushes. Got to be honest with you. Look at this stuff. Before you start messing around in the workshop, you look at stuff like that. You think, what a load of rubbish. When you're doing like glue ups or something like that, you just want a brush you can use and throw away. Stuff like that is perfect. Oh wow, this is interesting. It's all sellotape together. Looks like a... Okay, we've got a centre punch there. But this... Oops, sorry, it's not in file. In film. We've got a centre punch here, made by Ralph... someone or other. No, rule plug, number 10. Interesting. And this... What does that say? What does that say there? Look like a drill gauge to me. Very small and diddy. Rule plug UK. Oh, size of rule plug, size of screw. That's interesting. Look at that. That's really handy. Definitely be keeping that. I've seen one of those before. That's cool. Got a small claw hammer. That is a small one as well. The head is quite small. I know I've got big hands, but that's a small head. And then if we compare that with the other one, that's your standard size. No, that's a big head actually. So we've got a small one and we've got a big one. Both are fairly good handles. This is the original handle and that is solid as you like. Perfect for kids. Both of these will be a good kid starter ones. Oh, I didn't know I had a third one in there. We've got another cabinet maker screwdriver. Again, rusty as hell. This will come up like new. Yeah, I'll refurbish that one. Got a couple of stones. This is not much good. Normally you have, unless one of these is a spare, you leave that on the side and this is the cover, but the cover doesn't actually fit the stone that's there. It's too small. So it looks like we've got two half covers on stones. These are probably old oil stones or Indian sandstones or something. I've got so many stones. Maybe that's a good one for the kids starter set. The ubiquitous Junior Hacksaw, absolute junk, but perfect for a kids starter set. First impression, this looks like junk. Just a plastic handled screwdriver, really rusty and bent. But I'm really intrigued to find out what colour this is underneath all this rubbishy grey junk. Or is that wood? Is it a wooden one? I don't know. It's got junk written all over it if you ask me. Okay, the timber rasp, that's really severe on this side. With a plastic handle there. Made in Japan. Carpenter's pencil, never had too many of those. Pair of pliers. Oh, it says anything on there. No one make that out. Put in the comments if you can see what that is. Very stiff. Just needs a bit of a refurb and a little bit of oiling. That should be okay for a kid. I've got a couple of these pointy things. What they call compasses or calipers. My mind is useless. I can't remember a bloody thing most of the time. They're nice and stiff as you want them. You don't want them too loose. Solid as you like. No play in those, no slop. They'll do those up, they'll come up really nice. And the rest of the stuff in there is just junk. It is literally just all rusty junk. So I'm going to clean this up. Give this to a kid. A little bit of a running repair needed there. And that bit that's broken. Just a little quarter of an hour clean it up. That'll be a perfect tool caddy to put saws and screwdrivers and spanners and whatnots. Some child should hopefully appreciate that. There you go. Hope you enjoyed that short tool haul. I'm aware that I've not done anything like handyman hacks or pro tips or anything like that for a while. So I need to do some of those, get some of those in the pipeline. Hopefully get those to you this week. I've got another tool haul coming up, but maybe I'll, I don't know, maybe I'll show you that before I do the pro tips or the other way around. But There is some other interesting and varied content coming soon, so don't worry, normal service will be resumed. I don't always do tool hauls, as you know. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment down below, let me know what was your favourite. Thanks for joining me. See you later. Bye.